Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. فَأَقِمْ وَجْهَكَ لِلدِّينِ حَنِيفًا فطرة الله التي فطر الناس عليها لا تبديل لخلق الله ذلك الدين القيم ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون. Surah Al-Rum, ayat number 30. A translation from Sahih International. So direct your faces, yourself, toward the deen, inclining toward the truth. Adhere to the fitra of Allah, upon which He has created all people. No change should there be in the creation of Allah. That is the correct deen, but most people do not know. So the topic today, brothers and sisters in Islam, is what is your fitrah? It is critical that the Muslim Ummah knows and understands what is the fitrah and how Islam fulfills it. What is the definition of fitrah? In English, the natural inborn inclination of the child of Adam alayhi salam to worship his or her creator. Prior to or before the corruption of that nature by external influences. Our fitrah was given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enable us to fulfill our roles properly in this life. They are our natural instincts, our natural disposition. What did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say about fitrah? There's a hadith narrated in Bukhari, in the section Kitab al-Tafsir, book of commentary. It was narrated by Abu Huraira radiyallahu anhu that Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "No child is born except on Al-Fitra, the pure Islamic monotheism. And then his parents convert him to Judaism or to Christianity or to Magianism, the fire worship of Persia. As an animal gives birth to a perfect baby animal, do you find it mutilated?" Then he sallallahu alaihi wasallam recited the above ayat that was previously recited from Surah Al-Rum. So, about fitrah, there are three types of people. By way of example, I'll mention what we abstain from in the month of Ramadan. The first type of person regarding fitrah is the one that is rightly guided, which is on Islam. Our deen happens to be the balanced way, the middle path, and the correct direction. Every child of Adam, alayhi salam, human being, is born with the ability and the capacity to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the first group of people are the ones who are rightly guided, and the other two are astray regarding the fitrah, and they are the extreme opposites of the middle path. There are two physical needs that we all have to learn to control in the month of Ramadan. Number one is food and drink, and number two is spousal relations. We learn self-control and we learn self-discipline. The number two type of person is the one who overindulges or goes to extreme indulgence. And the third person is the one that abstains, the one who totally abstains. In the month of Ramadan, there's a time to fast and a time to eat and drink. And there's a time to abstain from spousal relations and there's a time also to spend together. Regarding the overindulgence of food and drink, there are two dilemmas in this society. One is of obesity and one is of promiscuity. In the month of Ramadan, we learn how to control these impulses that we have that are a part of our fitrah. With the guidance of Islam, we learn how to conduct ourselves in a civil manner because of this. So overindulgence in food leads to obesity or overeating. And overindulgence in relations to the opposite gender leads to promiscuity. So that's the first type of person that's astray as regards their fitrah, is the one who overindulges. The third type is the one who abstains. Obviously, if someone doesn't eat or drink after a certain amount of time, that person will die. But while that person is alive, if they abstain from the food and drink, there is a disorder called anorexia, where this person has a mental disorder where they abstain from food because of fear of gaining weight. And some people actually pass away from this disorder. As far as relations with the opposite gender, in Surah Al-Hadid, ayat number 27, Allah Ta'ala mentions rahbaniyah, which is called monasticism or monkism, to be celibate. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declares that He did not prescribe this for anyone. So this is an extreme opposite of overindulgence, to abstain totally. What is the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is to get married. As a matter of fact, it was a sunnah of all the Anbiya alayhim wasalam to marry spouses of the opposite gender in the sacred bond of nikah. Regarding food, our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us that a believer eats with one intestine and a non-believer eats with 7. The scholars have explained this hadith Some scholars have said that the meaning of this hadith is that we should indulge less in the worldly pleasures and move more towards a'mal. Whereas another group of scholars say that it is not prohibited to eat to one's fill, but to eat beyond one's fill, this is what is not prohibited. What are the 4 reasons that the knowledge of fitrah is important to us? Number 1, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows us better than we know ourselves. The Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has rights over His creation. Al-Khaliqu Jalla Jalaluhu has rights over Al-Makhluq. In Surah A'raf, ayat number 54, Allah lahul khalq wal amr, tabarakallahu rabbul alameen. Unquestionably, His is the creation and the command. Blessed is Allah, Lord of the worlds. Number 2, we need to develop a strong Muslim identity wherever we may be. Every Muslim man, woman, and child must know themselves, their purpose, their origin, and their directions they want to go in life. Obviously, it's to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As a matter of fact, the book of Allah is the greatest book of human psychology and human nature ever. If you want to learn yourself, read the book of Allah. Third reason to know what is your fitrah is because we have to protect our deen. With the proper knowledge, with the strength of iman, and the correct actions to take from life to death. And number 4, is for da'wah. The more you understand the fitrah of all mankind, Bani Adam, the easier it becomes to invite towards the deen of fitrah, which is Islam. So I have a list of 15 natural instincts, inclinations, and qualities of Al-Fitra. Number 1 is a Tawheed instinct. In Surah Araf, ayat number 172, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took us from the loins of Adam alayhi salam and asked, Alastu bi rabbikum, am I not your Lord? Qalu bala, shahidana, yes, we have testified. This is called al-mithaq, the covenant that every individual made with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He is one. So that on the day of judgment, you cannot claim to be amongst the ghafilin, those who are unaware or ignorant of who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. Number 2 is a survival instinct. To value and defend your life and have a dislike for death is natural. Our lives are a sacred trust and possession given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we will be questioned for on the day of judgment. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a right to give it and to take it. So obviously any society where, for example, suicide is widespread is an off-balance society. You will also find the survival instinct in the plant and animal kingdom. Third instinct is to love your homeland. Rasulullah ﷺ loved Mecca, his homeland. And also it is natural also for you to love your place of birth. Number 4 instinct is to love honor, dignity, and prestige, which is another sacred possession and trust given you by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is called your izzah. It is in your fitrah to value your izzah, your honor and self-respect as a human being. Which is also why it is a sin to belittle your fellow Muslim brother or sister with ghibat or buhtan, backbiting or slandering. The 5th inclination or instinct in our fitrah is to know the difference between right and wrong. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already blessed us with this. Every human being, even before the guidance of Islam, it is inherent in every person to know what is right and wrong. A sijn or prison was a test for Nabi Yusuf alayhi salam. There's an example in the Quran. He had 2 cellmates that were pagans, or they were mushriks, polytheists. However, by the aura or the energy and the nur coming from Nabi Yusuf alayhi salam, they sensed that he was not an ordinary person. So when these 2 prisoners had dreams, because Nabi Yusuf alayhi salam was blessed with the mu'jiza of being able to interpret dreams, these 2 prisoners went to Nabi Yusuf alayhi salam and asked him to interpret their dreams for them. Number 6 instinct that every human being has is to love wealth. Wealth is another also amanat or trust from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and a blessing. So there is no shame in desiring to sustain yourself. Rasulullah ﷺ used to make dua for protection against poverty. And the shaitan himself threatens with poverty as a weapon to make people do evil deeds. Number 7 instinct is to enjoy delicious food and drink. Obviously within the bounds of moderation, as we spoke before when we're speaking about the month of Ramadan and the examples used there. Number 8 instinct is self-defense, to seek justice when you are oppressed. This is called the law of repelling. This is also inherent in every human being. Another quality or instinct that is part of our fitrah is to be inquisitive, to love knowledge and to ask questions. The next 6 qualities of the fitrah are connected to a healthy and strong family unit. As Muslims, in the Muslim Ummah, we are for healthy and productive communities. And healthy communities are made of strong family structures. And strong family structures are made from strong individuals. Number 10 quality that's part of our fitrah is to have ghaira. That is jealousy over your wife and the other women folk in your family. It is a noble quality to be protective over the women folk in your family. Rasulullah ﷺ said that any man who is not jealous over his wife cannot enter the paradise. If this quality is even in the animal kingdom, how can the noble creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is a child of Adam alayhi salam, not have this quality in them? And no one is more jealous than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 11, instinct or inclination is to have haya or shame and modesty. Number 12, instinct is to have a sense of belonging. On this land alone, we have over 25% of the world's prison population. And if you study some of the background, you will see that the majority of issues contributing to this is because of a failed family structure, because of the need to be loved, and for that need of the fitrah not being fulfilled. Number 13, instinct is to imitate the parents. This is inherent in every human being. Obviously in good matters, halal matters, not in the negative aspects. Number 14 in every human being is to love children. Rasulullah ﷺ said to marry women who are able to have children so he can have the largest following on the day of judgment. And the last quality is gender polarity. It is part of our fitrah to be attracted to the opposite gender. Rasulullah ﷺ himself stated that he married women. So let us all be content and happy with the gender that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed us with. Because there are people in this world that are discontent with the gender that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had blessed them with. So again, brothers and sisters, the 4 reasons for understanding your fitrah is: number 1, it is a right of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to command over His creation. And number 2, to develop a strong Muslim identity wherever you are at, to strengthen your iman with ilm and a'mal. Number 3, to protect your deen. And number 4, for the purpose of da'wah. We know that the deen of Islam is the deen of Al-Fitra, the natural way for the human being that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had engineered us for. So because of this, the more you know what your own fitrah is, the easier it will be for you to give da'wah to someone else. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us to understand what we have read and what we have heard. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to strengthen us and bless us and uphold what is natural for us. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for us to adhere to His commandments and the sunnah of our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also to fix our gaze on the akhirah, to make it easy for us, as in the last talk we were talking about, to prepare for our qabr, and to prepare for our standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on Yawm al-Qiyamah, and to increase our ilm of the deen, and to turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in every situation. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we make an effort also to pick up His book and read the Quran on a daily basis, and to remain in the dhikr of Allah ta'ala wherever we may be. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Jazakumullah khair.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah, ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. Hayya al-falah, hayya al-falah, hayya al-falah, hayya al-falah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
Alhamdulillah. الحمد لله الذي جعل اليوم الجمعة سيد الأيام ولا نعبد ولا نستعين إلا إياه وهو الذي فرض الصلاة الجمعة بقوله تعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع والصلاة على محمد سيد الأنام وعلى آله وأصحابه الكرام خصوصا على أفضل البشر بعد الأنبياء بالتحقيق أمير المؤمنين أبي بكر الصديق وعلى الناطق بالصدق والصواب أمير المؤمنين عمر بن الخطاب وعلى كامل الحياء والإيمان أمير المؤمنين عثمان بن عفان وعلى أسد الله الغالب أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب وعلى الإمامين الهمامين السعيدين الشهيدين أبي محمد الحسن وأبي عبد الله الحسين وعلى أمهما سيدة النساء فاطمة الزهراء وعلى عميه الشريفين المطهرين من الأدناس حمزة والعباس وعلى الستة الباقية من العشرة المبشرة وسائر الصحابة والتابعين رضوان الله تعالى عليهم أجمعين. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد بعدد من صلى وصام اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد بعدد من قعد وقام وصل على جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى كل ملائكة المقربين وعلى عباد الله الصالحين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون ولذكر الله تعالى أعلى وأولى وأعز وأجل وأتم وأهم وأكبر فأقيم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Please fill the rows inside the masjid before you form the rows outside. Jazakumullah khair. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين والعاديات ضبحا فالموريات قدحا فالمغيرات صبحا فأثرن به نقعا فوسطن به جمعا إن الإنسان لربه لكنود وإنه على ذلك لشهيد وإنه لحب الخير لشديد أفلا يعلم إذا بعثر ما في القبور وحصل ما في الصدور إن ربهم بهم يومئذ لخبير. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. تبت يدا أبي لهب وتب ما أغنى عنه ماله وما كسب سيصلى نارا ذات لهب وامرأته حمالة الحطب في جيدها حبل من مسد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah khair, Sheik Bashir, for the wonderful khutbah and reminders. Just a few quick announcements. Inshallah, we have youth group tonight starting at 7 p.m. Inshallah, so all the youth of the community are invited to join us, inshallah, so we can pray Maghrib, and then inshallah we'll start our activities after that. We also have Quran Academy, which goes on every Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. Inshallah, we are planning to start up a couple more new programs. Inshallah, one of them is the Tafsir, led by our Sheikh Yasir. Inshallah, at this point of time, inshallah, it's going to be on Sundays. Starting this Sunday, inshallah, at 7 p.m. Inshallah, and we also have some brochures, so please pick up and please join us, inshallah, for this informative session. So inshallah, it's going to be recurring every week, inshallah, going forward. And also, please don't forget to pick up a box or two of the food. Donation is $5. Inshallah, it helps us run the masjid. Jazakallahu khair.
Give a little quick idea as to what the class is going to be for the Tafsir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, Tafsir class will be from 7 to 8 p.m. inshallah. And inshallah, this class, believe me, it's inshallah is going to be one of the best classes you will ever learn in your life. The tafsir depends on the tafsir ibn Kathir. Imam Shawkani, he is a big mufassir himself. He said Tafsir ibn Kathir is the best tafsir. Badruddin Aini is a big Imam of fiqh. He said Ibn Kathir, he is the leader in tafsir, hadith and tarikh. Inshallah, I will give you the best of the tafsir, inshallah. If you want to understand the words, the messages of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, inshallah, you will do this from this Sunday if you come and attend this class, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me and you tawfiq to understand His book and to apply it in our life, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Inshallah, we'll make dua for our brother Nibras and for the sister of our brother Abu Bakr. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by all His beautiful names and His beautiful qualities. نسأل الله العظيم بجميع أسمائه الحسنى وصفاته العلى نسأله بكل اسم هو له سمى به نفسه أو أنزله في كتابه أو علمه أحد من خلقه أن يشفي أخينا نبراس وأن يشفي كل حاضر بيننا وأن يشفي أخت أخينا أبو بكر اللهم آمين يا رب العالمين اللهم رب الناس أذهب الباس واشفي جميع مرضى المسلمين وأخينا نبراس وأخت أخينا أبو بكر شفاء لا يغادر سقما يا رب العالمين اللهم اشفهم واشفني واشفكم واشف مرضى المسلمين صلى اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد. If you want to join the class, please give your name to Brother Ali, inshallah. We already have some people committed for the class. Like class 7 to 8.